Order. We are going to start tonight with staff and school highlights. So Sandra Carmel, if you want to come up.
All right.
All right, well, good evening. We have a few recognitions tonight. We are going to start off with Cody Holland. Come on, would you step on up here?
All right, we will give him a round.
All right, so Cody is a 5th grade student at J. Scheidler Elementary, and he exemplifies all of the characteristics that we want to see in our student community. So Cody comes to school each day with a positive attitude. He has a genuine readiness to learn that his teachers see every day. He consistently works hard, he completes his assignments accurately and efficiently, and takes initiative to ensure that his work is finished and done well every single time. That level of accountability and dedication is something to be very proud of as a 5th grade student. But what makes Cody even more deserving of this recognition is his character. He is genuinely a kind student. He looks for ways to help others whenever he can, and offers assistance to classmates whenever they need it. He will encourage peers that are around him or simply models that respectful behavior that we want to see in all of our students. Cody is definitely a student that leads by example. He treats others with kindness and shows compassion in all of his daily interactions. Cody truly exemplifies our care expectations through his commitment to learning, his responsibility, and the way he cares for those around him. He represents the very best of our J. Scheidler community. Cody, we are incredibly proud of you and grateful for the positive example you set each day. Congratulations on being our J. Scheidler Shining Star.
All right.
That's cool.
All right, let's go to your family. It's more than welcome to join us for a picture if you'd like to come up. Certainly can. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Yeah, come on up, everybody. Congratulations. Thanks for everything you do for us. Good stuff.
I know. I got it.
Come on up, everybody.
Okay, we're gonna come up close. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold it. 1, 2.
Okay, yep, same thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, next up we have Mrs. Bradley. Okay, so it is a true honor to recognize Mrs. Bradley as our classified staff recipient of the All-Star Appreciation Award. Mrs. Bradley's commitment to the students in our building is unwavering. Each and every day, she gives her very best to all of her students, especially those in our specialized program who she supports with true dedication and care every single day. She approaches her work with patience, compassion, and an unshakable belief in the potential of every child. Mrs. Bradley has been a key figure in our building for many years. We're not going to talk about how many, but many years. In fact, she supported me in my own classroom when I was a 1st grade teacher, working alongside me to meet the needs of several students. Her impact spans classrooms, grade levels, and generations of students. She is always willing to step in whenever she's needed. She maintains a calm and steady demeanor, even in the most challenging moments. She is a true team player who looks for ways to lift others up, all while maintaining high expectations and preserving the dignity of our most vulnerable students. Mrs. Bradley, your dedication, professionalism, and heart for children do not go unnoticed. We are incredibly grateful for you and proud to honor you tonight as our J. Scheidler All-Star Appreciation. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Do you want to get in there?
This is Micah.
Okay.
You're my husband.
Yeah. Do you want me to take a picture on yours too?
Could do a thumbs up, right? Sorry.
Oh, you're totally fine.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry to be in your space. No. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Okay, Mrs. Nelson. Okay, take a breath. It is my pleasure and honor to recognize Mrs. Nelson as our certified staff recipient of the All-Star Appreciation Award. Mrs. Nelson is a teacher who truly loves her students and demonstrates a strong belief in each and every one of them. She is always thinking and reflecting about what it takes to meet the needs of every student in her care. She goes above and beyond to adapt lessons, provide encouragement, and ensure that every child has the support they need to succeed. Mrs. Nelson is deeply committed to partnering with parents, keeping the lines of communication open, and working together to support each student's growth both in and out of the classroom. But what truly sets Mrs. Nelson apart is the way she lifts up everyone around her. She is a true team player, supporting her colleagues with positivity, grace, and compassion. Her encouragement, advice, and presence make a difference not only for students, but for our entire staff. Her energy, warmth, and enthusiasm are infectious, and she brings a sense of joy and optimism to our building every day. We often find her having dance parties in our hallway with her mini karaoke machine. Mrs. Nelson is more than a teacher. She is a mentor, a supporter, and a shining example of what it means to care deeply for others. She is truly a ray of sunshine in our school, brightening the lives of all who have the privilege to work with her. Mrs. Nelson, we are so grateful for your dedication, your heart, and your commitment to students and families alike. Congratulations on being our J. Scheidler All-Star, and thank you for all that you do.
Disposition of,
Come on
this is my consent.
Okay, now where's your
My
phone?
mama. Oh, go get my, you were messing with it. Videoing.
That's read the amount.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the agenda, you do that, and then we'll move it. Just keep Jeremy moving, yeah.
You?
Your sis, get a good record.
Okay, all right. We'll take several. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Congratulations.
All right, we'll move on to public comment. Is there anyone signed up for public comment?
Yeah, nobody signed up, but we do have one other recognition. So we've got one final guest in the audience. Mr. Dunham, if you could please stand up and come up to the front. As a Board of Education, you had the opportunity to do some informal introductions, but we just wanted to publicly say, hey, congratulations to Taylor. He's on the consent agenda tonight, and he is the incoming principal of Pauline South Elementary School, and very deserving, going to do a bang-up job at Pauline South. So welcome back to Auburn-Washburn. So glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Why don't you take a quick trip down memory lane? So, I don't know, almost 20 years ago, you started off, in what building were you student teaching in?
So, man, I'm old. So I started student teaching at Pauline Central.
Okay,
18 years ago, went from there, taught at Robinson Middle School in the 501 district. Took the opportunity to go out to Auburn Elementary for 7 years before dipping into the administrative world at Holton Elementary for the last 6. And so it's been really great to be able to come back, not only back to the district that I've had a lot of respect for, but also into a community that I know pretty well. And so kind of the full circle of student teaching all the way back to a job that I've been chasing for a little while.
yeah, I can speak on behalf of the interview committee, without question, did amazing through the process. Joe served on that committee as well, and we think that you're going to be an ideal fit. Looking forward to working with you in that role for many years to come. So
Thank you very
congratulations, welcome back.
All right, thank you very much.
Staff golf tournament.
What's that?
Staff golf tournament.
Yeah, I love
Can I
it.
take another teammate?
So we are going to get into the meat of our agenda. If you guys were here for recognition, we won't be offended if you guys leave. If you want to stay for the rest of the meeting, you're welcome to, but this is a great time for anyone that wants to exit. Go ahead and exit.
Yeah, thank you all for being
Thank you,
here.
guys.
Thank you.
We'll move on to 3.01, which is roll call. Everyone is present. Move to 3.02, approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. We will move into disposition of business by consent.
The board approves business by consent, including payment of bills in the amount of $8,838,638.28.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. No administrator reports tonight.
None this evening.
So we'll move on to section 6, which is items for discussion. 6.01 is K-5 social studies curriculum adoption. Morgan?
Good evening.
Hello.
Just switch this over. Recently, we brought forward for your approval our K-12 Mastery 10 for Social Studies. Mastery 10 defines what we teach. Tonight, we are bringing our recommendation for the resource for what we will use to teach those Mastery 10 as part of our regular cyclical adoption process. With me tonight are two of our Social Studies DCC members and teacher leaders, Miss Adrian from Farley and Mrs. Kreminga from Wanamaker, and they're going to share some highlights from our process and also from our recommendation. So tonight we'll just briefly talk about our curriculum committee process. We have 17 members representing all of our elementary buildings on our Social Studies DCC curriculum committee. We also will talk about the recommendation and rationale as well as our plans for implementation support. So our social studies process, our DCC members participated in a process that mirrored the successes identified in the processes built collaboratively during the ELA adoption. Members prioritized transparency and communication, ensuring updates to their colleagues about the process and progress. As we went through each of our meetings and made new discoveries and had different dialogue, they brought that information back to their buildings, to their colleagues, and kept everybody in the loop. We really prioritized alignment to the National C3 framework through our process, as well as Kansas HDSS standards and our Mastery 10 standards. So looking through a lens of all three of those, we collaboratively developed a rubric that we would use to evaluate the resources that we were able to screen during our sessions. 4 resources made it to the pre-screening round. From those 4, we met with all of the publishers. We reviewed the print and digital materials and utilized our evaluation rubric to really dig into those. We arrived to a complete consensus. One resource immediately rose to the top based off our identified needs, and that front runner was TCI. It rose to the top immediately with our group because of the clear alignment to the standards. The materials were designed in a way that was aligned to brain science, even down to the images that they used and where they placed those. It was flexible lessons and pacing, and the print and digital resources for teachers and students were something that really caused that to raise to the top. Because of our timeline and our quick consensus, our DCC members were able to then take that resource into their classrooms and explore it at a little deeper level. The purpose of their exploration was to really dig into what were those things that we were going to be celebrating with our colleagues and what questions did we need to prepare for, as well as implementation supports to support teachers when we move to a full implementation. So I'll let our members speak a little bit about their experiences when they took it into their classroom.
So I'm actually going to add on something that I thought of as you were talking. The TCI company has been fantastic to work with. When Morgan let them know that there was a group of us that were going to kind of do a little trial run, they sent us materials for all of our students. So my entire classroom got a class set of books. I got an entire set of the teaching materials rather than just the samples. And I have not implemented yet, but they have access. My kids can get on the online component as well if I enter them. And that has just been so phenomenal to be able to actually fully use it rather than making copies. So I wanted to add that on. It has been engaging our kids. My kids have been so excited to use it. The books are user-friendly. There's hands-on learning at the end of each lesson. If I'm using one of the online, the digital components, there's a question at the bottom, and if they get it right, they can get so many points. So we're kind of doing a little whose line is it anyway? The points don't mean anything, but to them, they're fantastic, and it's just engaging on its own. They think there's a magic number. I don't know what it is, but anyway, I don't care. It's engaging. Grade level accessible text. The kids can read it. I even have some of my students that are on IEPs that struggle with reading, that when I ask, do you want to read or pass, they're reading out loud in class, which says a lot right there that they're comfortable with it. We can adjust the grade level text online as well. Again, I haven't done that yet. And it's teacher friendly. I got on and was able to pretty much pull it up without having to do a lot of in-depth trying to figure it out. The materials are accessible. There's very little prep that I have to do in order to present the lessons because TCI has done it all. And so it's been a very good trial. I'm very excited.
We've had really great experiences with all of our trial run-throughs, and so therefore the recommendation from our committee is TCI Social Studies Alive. It automatically supports all different learners, hands-on, very engaging, lots of real-world application, and most importantly, it also is building those critical thinking skills that our students are needing. Lots of great cross-curricular connections, and it's just very clearly structured with comprehensive materials. There's a great student library for primary sources, biography, civics, library, and maps that have just been very easy for the kids to access, and it's like having a whole encyclopedia of just appropriate things for them, and it's been wonderful. So moving forward, our plans, pending approval, would be that teachers will receive their early digital access and be able to preview and explore digital resources prior to next fall. So they'll have that this spring. They could do any time of exploration that they're interested in doing as much as they'd like to. We also will have K-5 print materials touring the buildings for an early look for teachers. They also will have choice sessions offered in April at our April 3rd Professional Learning Day so that teachers who are wanting an early look and a little bit deeper dive can do that alongside a TCI implementation training specialist. And then prioritized training will be delivered for all staff in the fall. TCC members are also going to continue to meet and plan and prep implementation supports that align to those Mastery 10 standards as part of our summer workshop, and we will be fully ready to implement in August of 2026. For your review tonight, there is the instructional materials request, and I also have here an online material review access for you. And I should also note that in alignment with our adoption cycle, the request is for a 4-year adoption phase of those TCR materials. Are there questions that you have for us this evening?
Does the cost include is it for all 4 years?
It is, yes.
And I've never asked this, I don't know if I've heard it while I've said on the board, do these materials typically include testing material too? Or so that you don't have to create a test, you can test the proficiency on the content you've taught?
Yes, they do.
I assumed it did, but.
Yeah, it's a good question.
I knew during the ELA process there were some questions on social studies. It sounds like this will fill in the gaps, but there was kind of some concerns in the elder grades, more challenging stuff for the elder graded students. And do we feel that this will fill that, I assume?
Yeah.
Looking at it, definitely, but.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things our teams were impressed with, especially at those intermediate grades, was the access to content that was truly social studies based, and as well as those resources for primary sources and biographies for students.
Apologies if I should already know this, but can you speak to the current state and the decision to get a new curriculum? Is it just for Mastery 10 alignment?
It's part of our regular cycle, so it has been, and I can't even say when we last adopted social studies, but we have developed a 10-year plan, and those different content areas fall based on the curriculum expiration. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Social studies, well done.
That was our only item for discussion tonight, so we'll move on to section 7, which is action items, which is K-12 Mastery 10 standards for art, music, physical education, and library. Any questions or otherwise? No, you're good, Morgan. or would entertain a motion.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd move the Board of Education to approve the presented standards as the official district curriculum for K through 12 art, music, physical education, and library.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then we'll move on to 7.02, which is job description revisions, final read. Any questions or comments for Chelsea, or otherwise would entertain a motion?
Mr. President, I would move that the Board of Education approve the revised job description as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. We'll move on to section 8, which is superintendent search update, which is a standing update at all of our board meetings. Really the only update tonight, the board did meet on Saturday and conducted first round of interviews. We had 6 really good candidates that came in, and we interviewed all morning and part of the afternoon and then discussed. And so some of us feel like we've been here and might have just pitched a tent in the car after this weekend. But we were able to come down, and we have narrowed the search field down to 3, and there'll be an announcement coming out soon about who those 3 are, and then be looking out for a day in the district with each of the finalists, which is the 11th of March, which will be a full day, which will give opportunities for staff, principals, parents, community members to get to meet and talk to the 3 potential candidates and submit feedback via a QR code back to the board. And then the board will conduct final interviews the next night. So that is exciting for us. We're starting to get to the end of the road of superintendent search. So we're really excited about that.
Yep.
So at this time, the chair would move that we go into executive session at 6:51 p.m. to discuss students pursuant to the exception relating to the actions adversely or favorably affecting a student under coma, to discuss personnel matters pursuant to the exception of non-elected personnel under coma, and to discuss budget pursuant to the exception of employer and employee negotiation under coma for 20 minutes. The open meeting will resume in the boardroom at 7:10 p.m.
7:11.
7:11 p.m.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. We are in executive session. We are back in open session after being in executive session.
Motion to adjourn?
No, not a motion to adjourn. We have one other.
Denied.
Denied.
No second.
Sorry.
I have vote nay.
The one time somebody does that quickly, right?
I know. All right, go for
I
it.
move that the board approve the memorandum of understanding discussed in the executive session that was already voted on and approved by certified staff.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor? The motion passes 7-0.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, there's been a motion and a second.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion passes 7-0. We are adjourned.